Hey, it's Dr. Centeno, and we had a lot of interest after we produced our own 3D printed N99 masks. We had patients coming to us, we had other providers coming to us asking if I can get the body of this thing 3D printed through the guys you used and the file you created, how do I make this thing? So that's what this video is about. So obviously I can't warrant and we can't warrant that this mask will prevent COVID-19, nor that you're going to be able to assemble it correctly. And you need to perform your own OSHA tests for respirators to confirm that the mask works to meet federal specs. The one we used was the stannic chloride smoke test. So you'll need 3D printed mask and TPU material using our 3D printed file, the one that we created. You'll need the Roomba Series 700 HEPA filter. Those are all over the internet. They're relatively cheap. Rubber material like a medical tourniquet, super glue, 3/4 inch weather stripping, and head wraps. We use the Modesto thin glitter head wraps that are $1 at the dollar store, but there are lots of other ones out there as well. Those head wraps are going to be the straps. Hey, it's Dr. Centeno, and I wanted to show you what the mask will look like when it's all together. So we have here the HEPA filter. This is the flapper valve. So if you take that piece off, that little blue rubber thing is the flapper valve that allows the air to escape but not come back in. So as you exhale, it pushes up, and as you inhale, it comes back down. And then this little black thing is just a cover for the flapper valve. So it goes right over that area just to protect it so it doesn't get knocked off. Then you can see on the back side here, we have some weather stripping that's been put in to help with the seal. And then we have these straps here and here. And the straps go into these little pre-fit slots. And you can see they're just tied on the end. So that's what this is going to look like when we're all done. So the first step is to really decide whether or not you want a flapper valve. A flapper valve in an N95 or N99 mask simply is there if you want to use this outdoors and you're going to be exerting yourself, then you'll want a flapper valve, but you'll need to observe social distancing because a flapper valve allows you to exhale and it freely goes out the flapper valve and not through the filter. Obviously, if you've got coronavirus or COVID-19, then you might be expelling water droplets with COVID-19. So if you're indoors in a healthcare setting, and/or you want to protect others indoors, you'll want to seal the valve or choose a mask without a vent, meaning that we've printed these masks both with and without vents. So again, you need to decide what you want to do here. The flapper valve is there for your comfort, but if you're going to be working indoors around others and you want to protect others, then you need to seal the vent if it's there. Or obviously, if you don't have a vent, this is a non-issue. So first, determine if your mask print has a vent. Some of the early models that we were doing had vents. And again, if yes, you'll need to decide if you want to seal this or create a flapper valve. If there's no vent, then the choice is made. So this is the location of the air vent if it's present. And you can see there that I'm looking from the nose down, and that's where the vent should be. So again, if you're in an indoor healthcare setting and there is a vent, then you'll have to close that vent. So to do that, take the little piece that normally covers the flapper valve. It can be either black or white depending on how they printed it, but this is what it looks like here. And place super glue evenly on that surface. Get a good amount of super glue there and wait about 10 to 30 seconds before you put it on the mask because you want the super glue to be a little bit tacky. Then you're simply going to invert it and place it over the vent. And make sure you push down for a good 60 seconds to 2 minutes so it bonds directly to that area very tightly because you're going to want to make sure the super glue is covering any small holes that should be there, but you can see exactly how that fits on to cover the vent. And then once your mask is completed, then you're going to want to test the seal of the vent. So this is after you've done everything in this video. Then place the mask on, establish a good seal to your face, and then close off that square hole without the HEPA cartridge in place, just with your hand, and blow with your mouth to make sure air isn't escaping through that vent area. You can use your other hand to feel around that area to see if any air is escaping. If it is, you'll need to go inside the mask and put some more super glue around those vent holes and let that dry, and then retry, because you want this to be completely closed if you're working indoors or in healthcare settings where you're trying to protect others. So if you do want a flapper valve, this is how you make one. Again, this is more for outdoor use where you can observe social distancing and you're going to be exerting yourself in this mask. Then you'll need a flapper valve. So again, this is a piece of rubber over the air vent at the top of the mask to assist with expelling air. So if the volume of the air going out exceeds what the HEPA filter can handle, then it'll go out the flapper valve. But when you breathe in, the little piece of rubber, which is shown here, will seal the area. So this is Dr. Schultz cutting the flapper valve. So you can see he's cutting that just from a tourniquet material in the proper size.
Now we've cut a piece from the tourniquet that goes over this right here. It's a flapper valve. So the next thing we're going to do is use the super glue. Make sure you do this in a safe area that's well ventilated and in a place that you don't spill. So we're just going to take a little here, and on the top portion here, just put it right like this. Okay, stop.
And then the valve is super glued to the mask. And you want to make sure that the valve moves as shown. So it's super glued there on the one end, and the other end opens freely over that air vent.
Now, once the super glue has dried, it's time to put on this clip. As you can see, this has some grooves, and this clip starts here, and it just slides on like that.
Then you want to measure the circumference around the inside of the mask and cut the weather stripping that length. You can obviously also just place the weather stripping in there and then have it overlap and cut it so it fits as shown there towards the bottom. So there's very little gap there at all.
So now we're going to put the pre-cut stripping down into the mask. And it's got an adhesive and it goes in nice and easy. And you just run it along. You start it at the bottom, not at the nose. And then the two come together. And your mask is almost ready to get started. So now we're going to take one of the head straps, and what we do is we get on the seal, we break it, comes into this, we knot one end. This is slotted, so we go through one of the slots, we go through the other slot, like this. We make a knot, and now you have a safe, effective mask.
And then finally, you add in the HEPA cartridge. You can see some slots for the flanges there off to the left. You see that slot there and that slot there. Those correspond to the flanges that are on one side of the HEPA cartridge. And here's how it goes in. So you can see it clicking in right there. The flanges go on one side and it clicks in on the other side. And then you're done. So enjoy your mask. I hope that was self-explanatory. If you have any questions, send me an email, but I think that should work. So thanks so much and have a great day.